There's
this
the,
school.
there's the
the remains.
of that carpet.
Yes.
What do you remember about the farm here?
Well, that hedge is still there, and that's obviously been put there. But I remember this, and well, the house is just as it was, really. But that fencing wasn't round there, and it was quite high. They had quite high gates. They were always very private family.
Was it called Burton Green Farm?
I don't think it was, no, because I don't.
I think it's always been Burton Green Farm,
But
and that
never-
notice has appeared
Never advertised
since
it.
we've
Did you say it was
been
called
here.
Cooper's at one time?
Cooper's lived there, yeah.
But Burton Green Farm, that notice has been up. It was put up before Graham died, but not very long before he died, and his son runs the farm now.
Let's wander down to the school and see what's
Yes,
down there.
I'm going back, a long time.
Yes.
I'm 80 next year, so I'm going back 65 years.
Yeah, I was going to say, this was 1950s, was it?
I was just saying to Anita, you would never have known there was a war on, really. As a child, it had very little effect on us. And I can remember my father, when it was a big blitz, he woke my older sister and he said, I want you to come. And we stood on the fair, on that slope where you can see quite a distance, can't you, over the country. And he said, I want you to just see this, and I want you to remember this is the result of a war.
Oh, right.
And he was so upset, my father was, about it, and I can always remember that coming up here in...
So, and it was all ablaze, I presume?
Absolutely ablaze from the top of that hill there. We stood there. We were the only 3 people. My mother didn't come because she got 2 little ones. And we just stood there and saw all this huge blaze. And then the next day, because he worked at Singer in Coventry, and he used to cycle from here to Singer.
All right.
And he went, and as soon as he got into Coventry, he was issued with a shovel and broom, and he was all in Corporation Street, all helping to
Really?
get all the glass and everything up.
Good.
Yeah, there were no... This wasn't here. This was been built on. And it was just the big ones and the little ones, okay? And the little ones
The
was...
infants?
The infants, up to about 7. And he moved into Miss Gibbs. And I can remember knitting socks for sent to soldiers in the war and turning the heels and... And this tree is still here, this tree.
Were these railings still here?
I rather think they might
into
have
the
been.
tree, haven't they?
I rather think these railings were here. Yeah. Because we used to have some wonderful games for the roots of these trees. Yeah. And the Sunday school was held here, but I only came about 3 times to Sunday school. I didn't come. And Miss
took the
Gibbs
other
used
class?
to, Miss Banks, and then she married. I remember going to. They had a little collection, and we bought her a condiment set to give her. Some of us at this school. And she came from Borsall Common, but Miss Gibbs actually came from
Fenend, was it?
Honnelly way. No, beyond Honnelly. She lived on a farm, and she used to cycle, and you could count the number of days on your hand all the time I was here, when it was only very, very deep snow that she didn't come.
Really?
Yeah. She was an incredible
Were there many in the
teacher.
class then? Or?
Well, she sort of had like 3 sections, and she dealt with this one, and then she dealt with that one. She dealt with that. Maybe about 26, 27 children in the big ones.
Did they have days out at all or not? Did you go for nature walks and play games?
No, we
didn't you?
Because it was just nature anyway, wasn't it? Everybody.
I remember
knew
we
about
used to have a
that.
nature walk once occasionally down Hob Lane.
Oh, did
A
you?
nature walk, yeah, big thrill to look forward to.
No,
that
we
one.
didn't have nature walks. No, I can remember going to represent this school to Birmingham. I mean, it was a real occasion. This was because we had bought the 15-shilling savings certificates in those days. And I was chosen with another girl called Hazel Hambridge, who lived in Red Lane, and we went to Birmingham to represent the school to receive a certificate, and had a ride in a car from the school to Borsall Common to the garage, and then we were picked up there. I mean, to me, this was such a big, big thing, representing the school, you know.
Wonderful.
And a ride in a car, because we didn't have a car.
Yeah.
This is where Cox's shop was.
Where was the shop window? Was this it on?
No, it would be this bit here. I think that's right. it was like when a room in the house.
Did you go in through the door, or was it...
Oh, you went in through the door and the shop was that side.
Where did you keep the pony and trap?
Well, we got quite a lot of land here in Hob Lane, in 69 Hob Lane. We've got quite a lot of land. He'd served his apprenticeship down in Gloucester as a coachsmith, okay? Which meant that he could do lovely wrought iron. And,
Oh, I see, yes.
no, he actually made a lovely float. He was very, very clever with wood. And a forge here as well, Mr.
Oh, you had a forge, did you?
Turn the handle for him to do.
Yeah, that was your job, was it, to turn the handle?
But this wasn't a private road or anything in those days.
So where exactly did you live?
The far end of here.
Down here?
Yeah.
I used to walk the dog along here regularly, and
What, when it was still a dirt track?
well, it was in a worse state than this, certainly.
I mean, we used to save all the ashes and things from the fire to come and fill the potholes in.
Yes.
I mean, it didn't waste anything. And we got no electricity and no running water. I mean, when I think back how we managed, I just don't know. I really don't know, because the pump used to freeze up in the winter and dry up in the summer.
Really?
And we have to fetch water from, which was Parker's Farm, which is where now somebody called Diane lives.
Swindells.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, you had to go down there for your water?
Well, we went down through the Pleck.
Yes.
It was a cottage. You could go through with a big hole in the hedge and go down there just to fetch the milk from there and water when the water dried up.
You can't see those buildings, but if we went on the other side, I think we might be able to see them. You know, there's a footpath down the other side as well.
Yes. Somebody's gone to town here.
Well, he owned a timber yard, didn't he? So this is where
Tisdale, this is.
Yes.
Yeah, he was in Kenilworth when we were. The Tisdale family were in Kenilworth. Yeah. This Jones's farm. This was called Jones's.
What, this building here?
Yeah, this white one. Yeah. I mean, you imagine when we were sort of teenagers, early teens, we used to come along here, night, we've been to a dance or something.
Oh, right, yes.
Come back along here.
Nobody thought anything of it in those days.
Not at all.
Perfectly safe.
Yeah.
So what was this building?
That was a cottage, yeah.
And the Joneses, you say?
The Joneses lived
Who were
there.
they?
Dol Jones, Edith Jones, her sister. Hayden Jones and Bernard Jones were the lads. This was where we lived. But it was nothing like this when we were here. We'd got a gate there, but it was had a gate, but it was just a little tiny cottage.
Well, the bit on the right here we can see, I presume.
I should think they raised the whole thing to the ground, to be quite honest.
Really?
I would think so, yes. Jones's garden used to come right down at the side of ours, which it obviously still does. Yeah.
Was your cottage that one with the bay windows?
That's where it would be. Maybe it might have even been a little bit further back. But I should think the cottage has been absolutely razed to the ground, because...
You don't recognise it?
Not
no?
at all.
No.
Not at all, no.
And what was it called?
69.
Number 69,
69 Hob Lane.
Yes.
It still is.
Oh, still 69.
Still 69.
69, yeah.
Wasn't like this when you lived here,
Not
though,
at
was
all,
it?
no. We'd got goldenrod either side of the pump.
Where the well is now, that was just tarmac.
Yeah.
And when it had rained, when it stopped raining, that used to dry first because of the heat that was coming up from the well. Dried the tarmac first. And I never took any notice of that, apart from the fact that I wondered why.
Yeah.
And then when Mr. Allison was saying that's where the well was, I chopped it out and opened it up and we found it. So I built the wall around the top and did a little bit of a feature, but in the process I had to move the pump. And when I took the pump out, there's a pipe that runs all the way down to the bottom with a
It was like a
connecting
rod,
rod.
and the rod used to
That's
come up
what,
the
well,
top
it
of
had
the
all
pump.
rusted away.
Yeah. Oh.
That had all rusted away.
Yeah.
All that was came out was the piece of rod,
Yeah.
about 6 foot long,
Yeah.
and rusted down to a point and then disappeared. Well there.
That's right.
Yeah,
it
well,
would
they
be.
all
Well,
had to
we
have
all had
wells.
wells. Yeah.
Because there's another well that's out in the
Because
field.
you have a well.
Yeah,
at
that's
the
That's
farm
right.
as
There used to be
well.
one out in that field.
That's still there, that well
Yeah.
in the field. It's just got a fencing around
And we
it
used to
keep
go
cattle
down
away.
to the bottom of the garden there, and you could go into the fields and go round the
You
back
still
of there.
can, because the footpath which used to come this way has now been converted many years ago, and it runs down the outside of my property
Yeah.
through the wood, which is part
Yeah.
of mine,
Yeah.
and then there's a stile which they've just changed to a metal gate.
Oh yes,
Which
we
is
saw
at the
that
bottom
last
of
time
my
we
garden.
came. Yeah, but we used to go to the bottom of the garden, and we I think my dad had made a little opening. Yeah. And then
Well,
we
now-
would go to Seaton's shop for a gallon of paraffin. She'd give you your paraffin, and then she'd do your bacon for you. You know, she didn't wash her hands in between. So
Did you know anything about the village green, which was just where here? Is it? Where was it? Do you
Well,
know
I
the village green?
understand that the village green is just outside the gate. There's a little bit of green that's left.
Right.
Now, why I know that, well, I think I know that, is because we'd only been here just a few weeks, and there was a group like yourself out on the green, and I went up this before the gate was there, and I was talking to them, and apparently they were from the cycling community, and they were talking about making that a cycling centre there, and having toilets, etc., and a rest area with some type of picnic tables, because that was the last piece of the green that remained. And then there was talk about the toilets, and he asked me where the connection would be to the sewer. Well, there is no sewer. Then he said, oh, well, that's the end of that then, and off they went. I never heard another thing.
And then my dad would dig a big hole in the garden, he'd just around here somewhere, and bury them. And then in the winter, he'd get them out. But my mum never ever got the salt out, because we were always careful with water, because we'd only got the pump. And every time I eat kidney beans, I think of these horrible salted kidney beans. Yeah.
I did when I was first.
And mangles, he used to grow mangles.
This is
with
before
the pigs.
freezers, of course.
We used to have, we had a mangle chopper with a great big blade.
Yes.
We used to put mangles in it. My mum, as kids we did this.
Then we had a fridge.
I mean, I look at my grandchildren, I think, God, you haven't they?
No, they
don't
haven't.
know, do they?
No.
They don't.
Well, this is the Pleck, is it?
Yeah, this is the flat. We used to go.
I know I've heard the term pleck before.
It's a common word for a little field.
It is it? Let's look at that. PLEC, is it?
P-L-E-C-K,
Where
yes.
the people are in the corner.
Yes, yeah.
Well, we used to go down there and cut through there, and we were almost at Parker's Farm then, you
Yes,
see.
that's right.
That's where we used to. But we had a hole in the hedge there. My dad made a big opening for us there. We used to go and we used to have toboggans and all down here, because it was quite a nice little slope. And that's where you'll find where the prisoners of war have done there.
The prisoners of war apparently dug ditches to drain the land, and they then built a concrete stanchion with the pipe coming through it, and then they'd got POW and their number on it.
Oh, is that right? And that's down
Down
that's in
here
that
there
field
somewhere.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So
I will go and find it, and I will.
lovely.
Well,
this is
be back.
That's amazing.
Yeah,